right, good afternoon. Happy February 28th. Welcome to our annual Black History program here at LaGrange-Moscow Elementary School, home of the Tigers. Yeah. All right. We are going to begin with some fantastic speeches. Can my fifth grade speakers please come to the stage? Fifth grade speakers, please come to the stage. We are going to have the students are going to present to us some famous individuals to inspire us to be better.
Kenneth Clark was a doctor who studied how being treated unfairly because of skin color hurted children. He was born in 1914 and worked hard to be the first Black person to get a big degree in psychology from Columbia University. He and his wife did a famous dollar experiment. They found that the Black children felt sad because schools were unfair. They were helped change a big rule so all children could go to school together. Kenneth Clark spent his life making school for everyone.
Phyllis Wheatley was the first African-American woman to publish a book of poetry. She was born in West Africa around 1753 and was brought to America as a slave. When she was a young girl, the Wheatley family in Boston taught her to read and write. She quickly showed talent for poetry in 1773. She published a book called Poems on Various Subjects, Religions, and Mores, which made her famous. She wrote about freedom, faith, and hope, and even made leaders like George Washington. Phyllis Wheatley poetry showed that Black people could be just as smart and creative as anyone else, and she helped inspire the fight for freedom and equality.
Alexander Crummell was a leader who worked for the rights of Black people through education and chronology. He was born in 1819 and wanted to become a priest, but many people would not accept Black students. He never gave up and became a priest, using his voice to speak out against slavery and racism. He believed education was the key to freedom and worked to help Black people get better opportunities. He even traveled to Africa to help people build schools. Alexander Crummell's hard work inspired many people to fight for justice and equality. Was a scientist who studied skin cells and worked better to find treatments for cancer. She was born in 1924 and loved science from a young age. Even though it was difficult for Black women to become scientists, she worked hard and earned a PhD in biology. Her research helped scientists understand how cancer grows and how to fight it. She also worked to make sure more African Americans had chances to study science. Jewel Palmer Cobb's work made a big impact on medicine and education, inspiring many people to follow their dreams.
Katherine Johnson was a brilliant mathematician who helped NASA send astronauts into space. She was born in 1918 and loved math for a young age. Even though it was hard for Black women to get jobs in science, she never gave up. She worked at NASA and used her math skills to help plan space missions, including the first moon landing in 1969. Her work was so important that astronauts trusted her calculations more than computers. Katherine Johnson helped break barriers for women and African Americans in science, and her story inspires people to follow their dreams.
discoveries in medicine. He was born in 1899 and loved science, but it was hard for black students to get a good education. He worked very hard and became a chemist. He found ways to make medicine cheaper and helped create treatments for diseases like arthritis and glaucoma. His discoveries made life better for millions of people. Even though he faced racism, he never gave up his dreams. Percy Julian's work changed the world, and he inspires others to keep learning and never stop trying.
Thank you, fifth grade. That was fantastic. Fourth grade speakers, can you please stand? It's your turn. Fourth grade speakers.
When Henry Highland Garnet was 10 years old, he and his family escaped from slavery in Maryland. They made it to New York City, where he grew up and went to school at the African Free School. He became a minister, educator, and a diplomat. He worked to help people understand that slavery was wrong and that slavery needed to be abolished. As a pastor in the 1840s, Henry Garnet would shelter and protect fugitive slaves in his church. On February 12, 1865, he became the first black person to deliver a sermon in the United States House of Representatives. One of his most famous speeches was a call to rebellion. This was encouraged slaves to speak up for themselves and to help them achieve total freedom. He traveled all over the world as a popular anti-slavery speaker. In 1881, Henry Garnet was appointed as the United States ambassador to Liberia in West Africa. That is where he died, and he was so well respected that they buried him like a prince.
Benjamin Oliver Davis Jr. He was born December 18, 1912 in Washington, D.C. He was a United States Air Force general and commander of the World War II Airmen. He died July 4, 2002 at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. He was buried at the Arlington National Cemetery. He received the Army Silver Star Medal, the Air Force Distinguished Service Medal, the Distinguished Flying Cross Air Medal, and many more.
Lorraine Vivian Hansberry was a popular play, A Raisin in the Sun. She was the very first African-American female author to have a play performed on Broadway. This is a play about a black family living in Chicago in the 1950s under racial segregation. She was born 1930 in Chicago, Illinois, and as she grew up, her family struggled with segregation challenges. This inspired her writing of A Raisin in the Sun. She won many awards and inspired many others to write about their lives. She was the first African-American dramatist, the fifth woman, and the youngest to win the New York Drama Critics Circle Award. Sadly, she was only 34 years old when she passed away from pancreatic cancer. She was a great example for people living lives similar to hers and inspired generations to come.
John Henry Clark was born on January 1st, 1915 in United Springs, Alabama. He died July 16, 1998 at the age of 83 in Manhattan, New York City. John Henry was an African-American history professor at the Cornell and integrator of Pan-African and African studies and professional and accounting historian in the late 1960s. His mother wanted him to become a philosopher. John Henry did not want to do that. He left Georgia in 1933 at the age of 18. He took a freight train to Huron in New York City as a part of great migration of black people out of the South to New York City. There were pursuing scholarship and until he remained himself as John Hickman at the rebellion playboy. He added an E to his name. Sir spelled it as Clark, C-L-A-R-K-E.
an American scientist and inventor promoted crops to cotton and created bedrocks to prevent soil. He was one of the most prominent black scientists of the early 20th century. He was born July 12, 1864 and died January 5, 1943. Charles was born June 3rd, 1904 in Washington, D.C. He died April 1st, 1950 in Burlington, North Carolina. Charles was an African-American surgeon and medical researcher. He researched in the field of blood transfusion, improved technical for blood storage, and applied his expert knowledge to large-scale blood banks early in World War II. This allowed medical to save thousands of lives and allied force as the promoted African Americans in the field protested against the practice of radical in the donation of blood as it lacked scientific foundation. He resigned his post with the American Red Cross, which maintained the policy until 1950.
All right, thank you very much, fourth grade speakers. Fourth grade drummers, stand. Proceed to your instrument. Very hard on those patterns. Good job, fourth grade. Third grade speakers, can you please come to the stage, third grade speakers? Time for you to share with us what you have learned.
Dewey Miller was born October 12 in 1919 in Waco, Texas. He was a U.S. Naval soldier who was the first black instructor of the Navy Force. He was nominated for the Medal of Honor. He helped wounded soldiers to safety during the attack of Pearl Harbor. He died November 24, 1943 on the islands of Gilbert and Ellis.
Colin Powell was born April 5, 1937 in Harlem, New York. He was the first African statesman, diplomat, and army officer. He was the first African American to become the United States Secretary of State. He died October 18, 2021 at the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Maryland.
Barnett was born July 16, 1862 in Holly Springs, Mississippi. She was an American investigative journalist, sociologist, educator, and early leader in the civil rights movement. She was one of the founders of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. She died March 25th in 1931 in Chicago, Illinois. Duke Ellington was born April 29, 1899 in Washington, D.C. He was an influential American jazz composer, pianist, a songwriter, and bandleader. He was awarded a posthumous Pulitzer Prize, a special award for music in 1999. He died May 24, 1974, New York.
Maya Angelou was born April 4, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. She was an author, poet, civil rights activist, singer, dancer, actress, composer, and Hollywood's first black female director. She died May 28, 2014 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
John Crochet was born September 23, 1926 in Hamilton, North Carolina. He was a saxophonist, complex, and band leader. He is considered one of the most influential figures in jazz. 20th celebrity music. He died July 17, 1967 in Huntington, New York.
Thank you, third grade. Kai read to us about a guy named Duke Ellington. Duke Ellington was a big jazz player in New York City. And this is one of his songs. got these things on every street corner, just about, that we like to call churches. And all throughout Black American history, there has been songs similar to this one. Y'all ready? Good. Here we go. All right, good job. Parents, we are so grateful you came out to support your students here with us today at LaGrange-Moscow. So glad to see so many faces out there in the audience. Didn't our kids do a great job today? We are so proud of these kids and the effort that they give each and every one of us, and we are so grateful to have stakeholders like you come out and help us out.